Hey guys, and welcome to Minikun Tutorials. So, still within the framework of my Rode Wireless Go To review series. In this final episode, I'll actually be showing you how to have the best settings of your two transmitters. Okay, your two transmitters, as well as the receiver of your Rode Wireless Go To. How to have the best settings of the two transmitters, as well as the receiver of your Rode Wireless Go To within your Rode Central app to make sure you have what good quality broadcasting audio. All right. So, if you haven't had the opportunity to watch the previous episodes of my Rode Wireless Go To review series, I strongly recommend that you watch them because in the first episode, for instance, I did the unboxing of the Rode Wireless Go To and talked about all that comes with it. The 3.5 millimeter head-to-head TRS cable, the air shields that come with it. You can see them right here. That you can fix. I don't have to do that because that's not the purpose of today's tutorial. You can watch the previous episodes. I also made a video on how to update the two transmitters as well as the receiver within the Rode Central app. And I also made a video on how to set up your Rode Wireless Go To and all of that. But in this last episode, we'll be looking at how to do the proper settings within the Rode Central app and get the best quality audio ever, broadcasting audio, as a matter of fact. So without much ado, let me show you how that is done. So, but before we actually go into the app for me to show you how to do those settings, it's important that you plug back both devices. If not, if you have just this screen, you cannot do the settings, right? So you make sure you plug back your all three devices. Perfect. This is plugged. Okay. Then we plug this particular one too. You notice that once you plug, it shows up there, right? Okay. All right. Let's plug this one too. So all three are connected. Perfect. And you can see that there are already some audio files showing, meaning all this while that I was talking, it was actually recording. So we will play them for you to hear. But right now, let's try to look at the settings for each. First of all, we start with the receiver, and then we will look at the settings for the transmitters. Okay. All right. So um, for the purpose of showing you, let's say, how to set up the Rode Central app for your three devices, as you can see, be it for the first of all, be it for the receiver. Okay, we just have one receiver, or the two transmitters. I am using right now the Shure MV7 dynamic mic, USB mic. Okay, so please let me know, how do I sound? Do I sound great or not? I'm actually recording in what do you call it, in dark mode. Okay, and please let me know what is the quality of my voice, and whether this mic is great or not. It's something that I'm using. It's also new, just like the Rode for me. Okay. All right. So without much ado, let me show you how you can actually set your transmitter. Remember, sorry, we start with the receiver, then we look at the two transmitters. Please note that all that I've shown you so far, when I was filming, and then I showed you all that I've shown you on be it on the receiver or the two transmitters, is literally the same thing and more that you can do on the app. Okay. So, but learning how to use the buttons is very important in case, for instance, you want to use the pad mode, meanwhile, you don't even have a PC around to plug your devices and then do the settings. All right. So that's why I showed you that. Now, if you want to do the same thing, because there's still more that you can do on the app that you cannot do on your devices, the buttons of your devices, right? So, starting with the receiver, just if you just click on the receiver this way, okay. When you click on the receiver, the settings for the receiver pop up straight away. All right. So the first thing have to do with the backlight. So remember that earlier on, for instance, I wish I could, because I'm now using my webcam to record this part. I'm not using my camera, so but you can see the screen. I don't know whether you can see it. I'm trying to show you, but I don't want to unplug the device. I don't want to unplug the receiver. If not, the backlight simply is about the screen, right? The screen of your wireless device, right? The screen. So the screen of it, if you want the screen to be off, it's up to you. You can switch it off or on, but it's always better to leave it on, in my opinion, so that even if when you are in the dark, you can see, right? And then we have the gain. The gain here is about the gain here is about the input. Okay, your for instance, when you are using the two transmitters, do you want your voice to be very loud or low? So when you, for instance, if I should click on the gain mode, okay, when you click on the gain mode, we have, let's say, gain mode. Let me click again. So we have pause. I don't know. Pause means see that it's very low, right? Low. And then if I click on it again, we have fine. So I prefer leaving it at fine, and then I will change my number of what do you call it, decibels, right? So, for instance, I can decrease it, so I can leave it in fine mode. When you leave it in coarse mode, I think your voice will be rough or something like that. When you leave it in fine mode, then you get a sweeter voice. So I would decrease it to, let's say, or increase. What am I saying? Increase it to minus 12. Okay, or you could leave it -6. It's up to you. And then here's what is what I was talking about, split mode. So if I should hit on split, then it means sorry, if I should hit on that button, now we've turned into merge mode. To switch into merge mode, I told you to press on the two buttons of your what? Press and hold on the two buttons of your receiver. This was why we did. You can do that literally on the app. That is if you want audio files from both transmitters to merge into just one audio file, you can do that. If you want split mode, then you click on it again, it goes back to split mode, right? After that, we also have what we call the safety channel. uh I think the safety channel is on. Let's go back to merge mode. Notice that when I click on merge split mode, the safety channel is not on. But when I hit on, let's say, merge mode, when I hit on split mode, there's no safety channel. But when you hit on merge mode, so if you have just one audio, then in that case, you can have what safety channel. You can have the possibility to turn on or off the safety channel. Now you'd ask me, what is the purpose of the safety channel? From what I've read, the safety channel is just to is it gives you, for instance, if you are in merge mode, you will have one raw or natural or original, let's say, audio file. Then you have a second audio file that will be the safety backup or whatever file, which will be an audio file, for instance, with a much improved quality. For instance, if your voice was too loud, or if the person that you interviewed was his voice was too loud, and provided you use um just one, let's say, transmitter, or you use the both transmitters in merged mode, then in this case with the help of, let me not confuse ourselves, let's forget about using one or two transmitters, but in case you you record it in merge mode simply with the help of the safety backup or the safety channel. You'd have another audio file in addition to the merge audio that you've already had, the original audio. You have another one that would be much finer and smoother. The pitch will not be that high. So this is the purpose from what I've read. And then so in case you are recording in merge mode, then you can definitely switch this on. One other thing that you can see here is the backlight. Okay, the backlight here is about, let's say, sorry, I said backlight. It's about the button, the power button. Okay, so the power button that is always there that I've shown you already has multiple functions, right? You can set it to, for instance, you can add when you press and hold on the power button, it switches the device off, be the transmitter or the receiver. But you can also add another function to it. So if you want it to give you backlight, do you want it to be marker, or do you want it, so you have the choice. I don't really know what a marker is for. Okay. But for me, I would just leave it as marker. Okay. If you want, you could switch it to backlight, whichever, so that when you want to switch off the backlight, especially on your receiver, then we are actually talking about your receiver, right? So when you hit on the button once, it can switch off the backlight for you if that's what you want. Remember, when you press and hold, then in that case, it will switch off the device. So it's up to you. So you could choose marker or backlight. For me, I'll leave it at marker. And then that is pretty much it for the receiver. Okay, I can't see any other thing here. It's about version. In case there are any newer versions, they'll be here and you update. Remember when we plugged our devices, we had to update them first. So we've already done that. But in case there are any updates, you always see those updates here and you can always update your device. So that is pretty much it for the what do you call it? For the I would I would set my transmitter actually to. Should I set it to split? I'm confused. I don't know whether I should set it to split or merged mode. Um, right now I'm not interviewing anybody, so I don't know. And so I'll just let me leave it in merge mode, and I'll switch on the safety channel, and that is perfect. Let's go back and now tackle the transmitters. Okay, so let's start with first transmitter, and the transmitter, when you hit on it, uh, you see the what do you call it? It looks something like this, okay? But I'm coming, let me show you. And underneath here, you see your recordings. Okay, so if you have already recorded some audio files, when I was talking and doing all that, I think we captured some audio files, so you have them here. So this is how you can easily extract your audio after recording. So if I had recorded in split mode, or let's say in merge mode, then we would have had just one audio file, and then we will have what, a safety backup, for each. But I practiced several times. So what you are seeing here, I was recording split mode. So there wasn't anything like safety backup or anything. But all these audio files are just two separate audio files during when I was practicing that. So let's hit on one of them to play and see. It's also on, right? But notice that the connection, okay, button is blinking. It's blinking this particular button here, the connection button. This when this one stops to blink and it just blue and stable, it means it's well connected to the receiver. So you see the what do you call it? The Rode Go 2 wireless mic really sounds great. Please compare the sound you are hearing to my voice in the Shure MV7 and let me know which one is great or greater. All right. So that was just to show you how you can get your audios after you have your recordings, right? Now let's uh, hit on this small jab icon here to do the mic settings. So remember, let's go back. Okay, you can always go back to your devices by using that back arrow. I clicked on this first transmitter and I see my recordings. If I want to see do the settings, then I click on this gear icon here, and then I can now do the settings. Here, one good thing about the Rode Wireless Go 2 is the fact that you can always set your mic to always record. Okay, so the purpose of one thing you should notice that you mustn't, okay, you mustn't have the receiver on to be able to record. I think, in my opinion, the receiver, you notice that your audio files are not stored in the receiver, right? The purpose of the receiver, in my opinion, is mainly for your settings. It's like your meter for the two um, transmitters, right? And at the same time, the receiver, with the help of the receiver, you can transmit your audio to your camera, as I showed you earlier on, by mounting the receiver on your camera and using the um, TRS 3.5 millimeter TRS cable to connect your so that the transmitter to sorry the receiver to connect the receiver to your other device, so your camera or your phone, so that the mic recordings from the two transmitters will just go onto that device, and at the end of the day you just have your audio already recorded in the video. With the video would have high quality and you not have to do any syncing of your audio files and your video files in Adobe Premiere Pro and all of that, right? So that's the purpose of the receiver. So one thing is that it has this meter that I've already shown you, and with the help of the meter, you are able to set your transmitters, and can also help you connect your mic directly to your camera or your phone or whatever, right? But your audio files are always stocked one of the transmitters, right? Or in each of the transmitters used. All right. Um, okay. So I said all these things to tell you that uh, what it means is that you can actually record with just any of the transmitters switched on without the receiver necessarily switched on. This is a good thing about Rode Wireless Go 2. So, how is that possible? That is possible depending on how you set your your mic. Okay. So, for instance, if I should hit on the record button again, it's now in what backup, and you also have the pad mode that I showed you earlier on. So you can switch it on here or off. I told you to switch on the pad mode. We just had to select. I've already done that, right? So I don't need to repeat. So this how you can do this, select the pad mode for the particular transmitter in question that you have inserted into your your pad. So all right, let's continue. What again? Now we also have this button here, which is, I don't know, it's actually the button. So when I click on it, the power button, we have the choice to either mute, you know, when you press and hold on the power button as usual, the transmitter will go off, but you can add an additional function. Do you want it to be recording when you press on it? Do you want it to mute when you press on it? Or any other thing that you may want it to do? It's up to you. So I will leave it as marker. Okay, but you could, and then we also have this LEDs, these LEDs, the blue lights. If you wanted to, you can. If you press on it, then you have dim, meaning it will be dim. It will not be that bright, right? Okay, and then if you press on it again, then it's bright. Notice, I don't know whether you can see this blue light. When I press on it, it see that, so it's these settings are for this particular transmitter. You see that it's dim. When I press on it again, it's bright. You know, so I prefer dim. Okay, so this way it's not too bright. Yeah, so let's leave it at dim. It's up to you. And this is about the battery level. you know. And one important thing before we go for this particular transmitter is what? The recording quality. So preferably, I would leave it at broadcast quality. Okay. You could also set it to standard quality. I think the difference is not much, but I think when you are using broad standard quality, it's like you can, it's like the standard with standard quality, it's like you have much, it's like the transmitter can record as much as possible. Okay, like you can record more audio. Okay, so if, for instance, if you have to record for a very long period of time, this could be very helpful. Okay, let me plug my, sorry, my PC battery just went down, and I had to plug it. Perfect. I was afraid. So let's continue. So, like I was saying, broadcast mode gives you, I think it's like 6 hours or so, and it's the quality is much better. It's actually okay. The quality is much better. And then when you say what do you call it, standard mode, is I think I don't know exactly how much time, but you can record more, and the quality might be less. So I mean, can you actually record up to 6 hours? So it's better to stick to broadcast so you can have best quality, in my opinion. But that is up to you. And that is just it. As usual, in case there are updates, they'll be here for you to update your transmitter. So let's go back and then click again back. And then you can select the second or the last transmitter, which is this one. This particular one, it has one audio file here. You know, we can play that too if we want. And then, bam, the receiver, you see that both are now connected. And to export your audio is very simple. You click right, let's right click and see. I don't know how we can. Okay, just select the audio, and down here you see export. So you click on export, and then you can browse and name your audio file, whatever you want to name it, and then whatever you want to place it. And then you can export it as so let's try, let's call it, let's say um menukun rod tutorial 1, menukun rod tutorial 1, right? And I put it on the desktop, and then click on, oh, what is it telling me? It's like I have to select a folder. Okay, so I don't know, I have to create a folder actually. So let's create a folder and name it rod. Okay, then after you do that, I select that folder, and then it's actually exporting my audio file straight away. So it's just as simple as that. I think it will export it as an MP3 or any other form of audio file. I can just close it and it's done. So let's go back, and as usual, you hit on it, you have your audio recordings, and then if you want the settings, you hit on this jar button, and then we do the same. I'll select backup for this, hit on it again, backup, okay, and then pad mode is off. Button, I can use marker here. Light here, I can use dim, okay, and I'm good to go. In terms of recording quality, then I'll leave it as broadcast quality. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this helps. Please subscribe. Bye.